I just want that. Yeah. Yes. Curses. Stop being stuck thinking over Sid's name. Yeah. Hey, is that with Charles? Hey, with Charles. Scarlet sure is. Ooh. Scarlet. What about Scarlet's? Sure, as in a person's sure. Like Scarlet's sure. Because that makes you wonder. Who's Scarlet? That's part time. How are you? I'm good. Take it easy. Take it easy while I was doing CSS. I like it. I like.
Hello, let me get some music on here. There, that's better. Well, I'm just sitting around doing not much of anything at the moment because there's nobody in the chat. So, guess I'll sit here and listen to some chill music. Well, welcome to whoever just walked in. That's alright. Somebody's watching. So far, I'm just sitting here listening to some chill music, and yeah, it's been quiet. I've only been on for 7 minutes. Speaking of being on, I need your phone. Well, now that I got more than my wife in the chat, I might as well sit here and at least pretend I care. How's everybody doing? Oh yeah, thanks for the follows, Lambent Eye and Elude. Oh yeah, that's sort of what I intend to do. Right now I'm working on updating my images and stuff on the OBS. Just give me a minute or two. Don't think I've got a timer on this one. Let me take a look. I don't think I have a timer. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, we can do some sprints. Okay, what we got? Timer right there. Yeah, I got one. It's going. working on my overlays at the moment. Hey Siobhan, how you doing? You're angry at yourself. What for? What'd you do? Oh, last night? It can happen. I had to cancel mine the other day because of a headache and I just went to sleep, so. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up over it, huh? Nobody is gonna be so anal that they're gonna go, oh, Siobhan is a useless tool now because she slept through a stream. Alright, everybody's gonna understand. You push yourself pretty hard. Well, that's good. You needed the sleep. So when I seen you in the damage report stream, you had just woken up then, eh? You push yourself way too hard, hon. Sleeping for 11 hours, that might be a good thing every once in a while. Yeah. Live as if you'll die tomorrow. Learn as if you'll live forever. Right? That's the philosophy I live by. Right? And what's going to happen if you die tomorrow? Neither will get finished nor started. Right? So, don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today. And sometimes your body just needs to sleep. You know, I've done it. Everybody's done it. Right? You just go to sleep and you just do not want to get up. Right? That's your body telling you slow down for a day. Even God rested on the seventh day. You know? You know, the Jews, they don't do any kind of work between Friday at sundown and Saturday at sundown. No work at all. That means that in the winter, when the sun goes down at 4, you better have dinner done by 3. Because your wife is not going to cook after 4 o'clock. Right? And you're not allowed to cook after 4 o'clock. And, you know, right? It's just a mandatory day of rest. Right? And I think that of all the religions, that one makes the most sense. Of all the religious dogma, that one makes the most sense. A mandated day of rest. Right? You know, and remember, being a novelist is your job. Everybody's got to go home from their job every once in a while. Hey, Macaro. I'm just giving Siobhan some advice on slowing down. That's why I got the chill music playing. Named all your Greyborn cities today. That's awesome, mate. Yeah. Well, having names is the first start. Oh, you have your puppy in the room with you. She said there were how many females in them? Three, okay. Got pictures of them? We shouldn't really be coming over much with COVID, but... One is fat, eh? Or go take a couple pictures of the other two and post them up. Cool. What's yours? Brown and black? Oh yeah. Just a reminder, and I want to no way discourage you, Siobhan, from taking the dog you want, but just remember that female dogs are more expensive than male dogs. Yeah, okay. But in no way do I want to discourage you from taking the dog that you want. Because you gotta live with the dog, right? She's gotta be your dog. And that's the end of the sprint. Aww. Okay, well, I'm turning off this because I turned that on for Sable and she didn't. And she didn't even. Sweet. Sable's outside with our cat. She wanted the word sprint, so our kitty has to go to the vet today. He's not feeling well. Okay. Yeah, Scooter. Yeah, Ash is getting his attitude adjusted today. But Scooter's got to go in. Yeah. You have 2 towns? Ah, I see. Almost down there where I didn't see it. But that's cool, man. That's looking great. And what are these little things here? See where the hand is? Little little dot on the railroad where the railroad goes. Off of Brassmire. Brassmire travels to the river, that makes sense. Right? And then it travels up here to this little green dot. What's this little green dot? Oh. Ah, okay, it's a town. So desu ka. Awesome, mate. Yeah, that makes sense. City needs a place to supply it. They just don't survive on their own. Yeah, it's part of the Synergazia map. What is this? A 1,000 miles? What happened to 1,600 kilometers? Oh, yeah. I'm all good with that there, Siobhan. Oh. Hi, Angst. How you doing, hon? Yeah, that's cool, Macaro. Well, Hanks, I don't know if you can hear me, but some people just don't understand plain English. Oh, good. Did he use the facility? Ah. What's that? What do you mean, what would stealing a kiss be under? Diplomacy. Stealing a kiss is all a matter of whether or not somebody likes you if they get offended. Right? You know, I mean, women will say otherwise, but that's not the case. Right? Your charisma has everything to do with whether or not somebody's going to get offended. Or intimidated if you force it on them. Well, apparently, Scooter's feeling better anyways. I think they were still taking him to the vet, though. Yeah. Okay. Macaro, snuggle your rats for me, because I love rats. So, any other questions there, Siobhan? Okay. So how's he doing? Yeah. Yeah, I figured you would. Okay, hit me with it. Okay, I would ask them to describe how they're going to use sleight of hand to steal a kiss. Right? Are they going to distract the person and move in and actually steal a kiss? That's a good way to get punched in the face. But, you know. Real women tend to smack men that do that. Because you could snap your fingers so she looks away and then move in and kiss her. I mean, it's possible, or him, right? But, you know, if he's not already attracted to you, it's not going to win any friends. That's why I say it's diplomacy. Ultimately, the physical act could be done through a lot of different skills. Acrobatics, for that matter, if you're doing it in combat. But, you know. Like I said, you know, to do something like snap your fingers behind their head so they turn their head and then kiss them on the cheek. Yeah, Sable agrees. It's a good way to get punched in the face. Yeah. bards tend to be really not wise. It would be a bard move, though. Well, yeah, that's what... Okay, you have to type this. I can't hear you. Yeah, you see, that's what I was pointing out. That's why it's diplomacy, right? Consent is everything, right? You know, I might use sense motive as an ability to do it. Yeah, sense motive to determine whether or not this person is going to smack you in the face if you steal a kiss. Alright? Because, you know, consent is a thing. But well, if the players have enough of a relationship to expect to get away with it, right? They might try to pull that, right? As a game master, I would just let them happen. If it's between two players, let the players react as they would. Don't use any dice rolls or anything, right? Stealing a kiss is not a matter of difficult, right? If the person doesn't want you to steal a kiss, there's really not much you can do to steal one, right? All they have to do is put their hand up. Right? So, yeah. Let them play it out. I'm going to steal a kiss. If they want to use sleight of hand to sort of shock the person into it, I'd allow that. You know, to make the person distracted so they don't see it coming. I'd allow that. That's not a stupid question, Shadang says. Right, game mechanics are really sort of screwy. Right? They don't make a lot of sense sometimes. Hey, Bob. How's my favorite dinosaur? Yeah, I guess. The question was, is that how would you adjudicate somebody stealing a kiss in a game? Hey, Stretch. All right, and the person wanted to use sleight of hand to steal a kiss. All right, and more or less, I said that yeah, you could do it, but it doesn't mean that that's going to be whether or not you get away with it. Right? And that's what the conversation was. That's why game mechanics are screwy. It's two PCs, so I told the person just let them do it and let them react how they would. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing, right? That was my point, is that in general, you're trying to coerce a kiss out of somebody, right? But apparently they wanted to, basically snap their fingers behind their head so they'd look away and give them a kiss and see how they reacted. Yeah, you name her Poison Ivy. Roll initiative, yeah. I had a psycho DM that would have done stuff like that, actually. Right? For example, my character had an ability to know if somebody was going to attack them, but not what the attack was. He'd have pulled something like that. Oh, you've sensed an unarmed attack. Hi, Daz. How you doing, hon? You're crazy, Bob. You just realized you've been asleep for 2.5 hours. All the minis are done. That sounds great. Got pictures? realize you were supposed to be up 2 hours ago? I hear ya. I'm pretty convinced that my cats think the cords for the computer are snakes. Because they're determined those fuckers are gonna die. Yeah, been there, mate. Alright. Yeah, but my cats are convinced that these cords have to die. So far they've unplugged our webcam, my laptop, right? The printer. Attack dog, yeah, he was saving you. Look, those bandits and skeletons could have caused serious damage to your house. Yeah, permanently, Bob. I happen to like the cats. Well, reasonably, anyways. Like them more than I like most humans, put it that way. Can I have beauty pack? Well, guess the only thing left now to do, Daz, is drink. Because smoking pot's illegal in your country. Oh, then smoke pot. It's much better for you than drinking. You never hear anybody smoke a joint and go beat up their wife and kids. smoke a joint and beat up all the Twinkies in the cupboard, maybe, but prep for game or prep for nano? Well, you should start, Daz. I mean, you're never too old to start. Speaking of which, I'm gonna. Oh, what's this? You just don't know. $12,000, so you're gonna write about 4,000 words apiece? Yeah. That's cool. I'm a pantser. My prep's all done because I don't do any prep. I did nothing last year. I didn't even decide I was doing nano last year until the 1st of November. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do nano. Depends what the something is. Oh, that's pretty cool, Bob. You just don't know where to start on each one, is what you're saying. Well, you got 5. Make them all about 10,000 words and you got nano. Or start writing the 5. Make them all about 6,000 words and you might come up with ideas for the other ones you need. The other 4 odd that you need. Do you have a preference when it comes to hit points versus wound systems? No, not necessarily. It depends on how well each one's done. Right? For more heroic games, I prefer hit points because your characters can be heroic that way. But wound systems make for more gritty realism, and in gritty realistic games, I prefer wound systems. So, that's a start, Bob. So, Infinite Simus, I guess it would come down to what kind of game you want to play. What's at a 30-year all-time high? Talking in the other room. Take your time, Stretch. Yeah. You know, the one time I played Traveler, I never got into any combat, so we had a encounter with a alien intelligence, and then I couldn't get the group back together to play anymore. To have favored magic systems. Oh. You know, honestly, the system I think I like the best is Palladium's. Alright? And it's the only thing I like about Palladium's system. And that's basically a potential psychic energy pool and known spells. You know these spells, it costs you this much to do it. Right? That's one of my favorite ones. Right? For versatility, I like Mage the Ascension. That's the most versatile magic system I've ever seen. Right? And for simplicity, I like Dungeons and Dragons. That's the simplest one I've ever seen. Okay, take your time. Yeah. Yeah, I know how it works. Thanks for explaining to others in the chat, Bob. Hey, Stretch, welcome back. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn off my camera for a few minutes here, guys. I'm not going to go to anything else, but just turn off the camera so that I can consume my medication without doing it on camera, where Twitch can get all. You ever play Recon, Bob? By Palladium Games? Recon's a game that put out by Palladium that takes place during the Vietnam War. You play American soldiers in the Vietnam War, right? And some of the weapon damages they have just say things like gone, dead. You stand no chance. There's just literally no chance. It's interesting, right? Yeah. For the grittiness of it. Realism, there's no such thing as a realistic role-playing game. So my point is that, you know, I like gritty sometimes. Right? And sometimes I like sheer violence too. Right? Like, Paranoia is a great system. Yeah. So the other day I was on Twitter and I was told that by somebody that I'm too hard on the right wing, that I'm too insensitive, and that I hurt people's feelings. So I posted a reply. I said to them, I said, hey, to those of you MAGA heads out there that I've offended, I truly am sorry. I honestly didn't think you could read. Yeah, that's what I was playing too in the Traveler game, with a guy concentrating on sniping. Yep. That was my plan in the one Traveler game that I played, because I looked at that. I'm really good with math. So I thought, just like I was when I was in the Navy, I want a job where people are not shooting at me. Russia, of course, does. Now, even Boris is denouncing him now, Stretch. Boris might be a right-wing loony, but he's not a fascist. He doesn't go that far. Yeah. It's entirely possible. But they call this a lame duck session, so I don't think that Pence can take over in this time. I think that they can block him from actually taking the title of president and pardoning him. Right? So it might be a problem. Technically, in this period of time, before the election and after the election, there's not supposed to be any governmenting going on at all, right? Oh yeah, yeah. And I still believe he has to be sworn in, and I think that he can't be during the lame duck period. I think if he resigns, you literally have no president. He just goes on as vice president. Anyways, I'm gonna put my camera back on because I'm done smoking pot. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm not an American. Actually, that's not true. Daz, all he has to do is admit to the crimes and he can be pardoned for them. You do have to admit to the crimes, though. And you have to in any event. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got to divest himself of all his properties and stuff. Anything that would fall under emoluments. Right? He's the president. He, she can't have. They. That'll happen someday. Okay. Yes, you guys. Taking my kitty to the vet. Yeah. It all depends on the game, actually, Infinite Simus. Alright. In a game focused on magic, I'd say freeform creativity is better. But in a game focused on something other than magic, I think spell-based is better. And so if you're playing Mage the Ascension, right, the creativity of that game is phenomenal. Right? But if you're playing Starfinder, better to have some spells. Right? Because you don't want to devote too much to the magic system. Just a second, guys. Sorry about that. All right. I don't hold that spell-based is better when not all are mages, no. But I think the vast majority have to be magical-based classes if you're going to have a non-spell-based thing. Like, hunter characters can work in a Mage the Ascension game. If you use Demon Hunter X rules. That's true, Bob. It all depends on the character and the player. I'd be more worried of Bob with a mage in my game than I would be of my nephew, who's 20 and doesn't know much. Right? Because, yeah, Bob's going to be more lethal with a mage. Yeah, that's mostly what I get to is, oh, never mind, that would be way too powerful. And sometimes, you see, the problem is that it's not. Alright? Sometimes it's not too powerful. It's just high level. Alright? Absolutely. Hey again, Macaro. Welcome back. And existing spells can be used in unusual ways, too. Right? Depending on how devious your mind is. I've never played Witch, but I want to. Ars Magica was okay but needlessly complex. Alright. I'm trying to recall it, actually. The magic system was a precursor to Mage the Ascensions. And what would I say are the most underrated spells and they can use most creatively and deviously and usually aren't? Okay, I got a bunch of questions coming on all at the same time. First of all, Infinite Simus. I believe that it was the precursor to the Mage the Ascension system, and it had some pretty bad bugs in it, but it was, okay for a group of intelligent players, right, who weren't trying to munchkin the game, right? If I recall correctly, it's to understand that it's been probably 30 years since I played Ars Magica, right? But, okay, the most underrated spell that I think has ever been done is Prestidigitation, right? Right. And as far as DAS goes, you should keep a track of them, but yes, to avoid continuity breaks. Yes, you should do it to say he didn't know that spell yet. If you go back and change things. Right. Alright, second most underused spell in the game is Mending. Mage Hand is useful, but I seldom run into players who can't figure out how to use it in inventive ways. Right? Because what you've got is a 5-pound telekinesis. Yeah, I was going to say grease, especially when you consider that grease is flammable. Grease and burning hands. Right, which came on the list of things where one of my players created a spell called Kelnara's Grease Fire. Right? He got too bored of having to cast the two spells in conjunction, so he created one that just did it. It's exactly the same as a grease spell, except the grease was on fire. Right? I think low-level spells are very much yep. That's a grease the back of a horse. Yeah. Had that one too. Black Mirror's Liquid Fireball. Yep. Fortunately, I had some good mage players in my days. Yeah, but Meteor Swarm doesn't continue to burn. Both kicking. In 5th edition? That's cool. I'm not that familiar with 5th edition yet. I understand it's the most popular system, but I have to come around to it. Web is a beautiful spell. Web, Grease, and Fireball. Right? Grease in a staircase is always fun anyways. Had one player at one time was running away from, I think they were skeleton warriors, right? And like a dozen of them, right? And headed down the stairs. He was a mage, right? Headed down the stairway, and at the bottom of the stairway was a sphere of annihilation. So he stopped and greased the stairs above him, and then just ducked down, let the skeletons hit the grease and roll out over him into the sphere. Reverse gravity is fun, yes. What spell did he cast there, Makaro? Oh, you're talking about Quench. Yeah. Yep. In an area. Yeah. What combat systems have I enjoyed the most? You know, for what they are, I can enjoy any combat system, Infinite Simus. Right? Because I don't. None of them are realistic. None. Right? I led a really interesting life before I was a quadriplegic. And I was a sniper in the Navy in the 80s. And I trained in a lot of martial arts in the 90s. Right? And I can tell you that nothing's realistic, so enjoy them for what they are. What gives you the best picture and most movie-like experience. Yeah, bad DM. I'm with Bob. Right? 40 feet is deep enough that you can't see it. The best social mechanics I've ever played is in the storyteller system. Right? Because they're designed for it. Yeah. Or sleeping dragons are always good. Please ignore the phone in the background. My wife's mother doesn't like to think. An ooze, yeah, always oozes are always good. Gelatinous cube, because they're almost invisible. From 40 feet they would be. I did at one time try to create systems that did that, but what I was looking for is more realism in the combat, and the closer I got to realistic, the more unwieldy the system got. Yeah. I don't really have a go-to monster. They should. Swamps are disgusting places. Depends, I don't remember whether it was in the movie or not, but it's actually called the Pit of Calhoun, where you'll be fed to the dreaded Sarlacc. I think, geez, that's hard to say. Closest feeling of how combat may progress. Maybe the storytelling system, the one they use for Scion? Maybe? Don't quote me on that. Yeah. All depends. Leeches carry disease. Hey, Song, how are you? Combat mechanic creation experience. No, not exactly. There's a lot that I have incorporated from my combat experience. Alright, but not a lot that I have put in there, like, like realism and broken limbs and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Makaro. It helps speed things along. Yeah, you gotta figure stuff out on that one, I'm sure, still. I'm still figuring that one out. My takeaways are from attempting to create a realistic combat system was that it's pointless. That's my biggest takeaway. What you want is something that stirs the imagination, right? You want a system that isn't slowed down too much with I will. Right. With details, because when you start getting into things like windage, I'm sure most of you don't even know what windage is, right? And gravitational curve, Yes, Stretch. You need a new office chair, mate. Right? Yeah, and that's the thing is, the more realistic the combat system becomes, faster it's just going to kill someone. Because real combat is lethal. Right? People who want to get into fights haven't been into too many of them. Right? I find most people dislike lethality in their characters because lethality in a system affects the players more than it affects the game master, because the game master doesn't care if the monsters die. Alright? But the players have to write up new characters. It's like they say, anytime you increase variability, you favor the player. Impermanent mortality in lethal combat? It all depends on the system. I think if it makes sense. Like, in Paranoia, you actually had 6 clone characters that you wrote up. You just had 6 dots on your character sheet, and you just checked them off as you died. Right? That one made sense for that system. Right? In Star Trek, I've always wondered why they don't just clone people anyways, since they have their patterns in the transporter buffer. Right? So, yeah. If you die in my games, it's a big deal. And that's only because I don't really give a shit about your character, to be honest. Right? And I don't really give a shit about you. But I do give a shit that the game runs smoothly. Right? And players get upset when you kill off their characters. Okay, what's this here? Okay, your first one is a cantrip, Daz. I'm not sure if the second one is a cantrip or not. Might be a first level spell. Because a 10-foot knockback is... Yeah, as Bob says on the other subject there, if it's a game with lots of quick, easy characters like Recon, it's not that big of a deal. Recon expects that your characters are going to die pretty quick, so you only have 3 stats and a few skills. Yeah, Bob would know better, but that sounds right to me. And do you get a strength save to prevent being knocked back? Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. I'm very sorry. All right, yeah. Yeah. Just a second. Okay, yeah, he's right. As it's about being knocked back. Like anything that takes you out of combat is sort of powerful, right? And being knocked back 10 feet puts you out of range of even most reach weapons. Right? So it depends on the difficulty of the knockback, right? I don't know how saves work in 5th edition, but if a high level character is not going to be knocked back by this, and anything over about 3rd level isn't going to, then it's okay. Alright? If it's gonna affect anything more than about a 4 hit die creature, right, it's probably 1st level. Right? Take sleep, for example. Right? So you just gotta ask yourself, would a 4th level character be knocked back by this cantrip? And if the answer is probably not, then it's a cantrip. If the answer is maybe, it might be a 1st level spell. If the answer is probably, it is a 1st level spell. At least. Because a character at 1st level, who's the one who's most likely to be using cantrips, isn't going to likely encounter anything higher than 4th level 4 hit dice. Or not if your game master is being fair. Right? At least not in a combat situation. Right? Players in my game run into powerful stuff all the time. They're just stupid if they try and fight it. Yeah. Bing bing, did we get raided? Oh, Infinite Sim. Laura's raiding. Okay. Rawr, Laura. Hey, Bones. Yeah. Yeah, I agree there, Bob. Yep. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Welcome all of you. We are discussing cantrips in 5th edition, and how powerful they should be. And I was not aware that the cantrips scaled in 5th edition, so if they do, then probably that would work as a cantrip. Hey, Kit. Hey, Mikey, I don't think I've seen you in here before. Welcome to the chat. I didn't see you come in. Right? You were the first one in. You snuck right in and yelled at me, and I didn't even see it. Do frogs sit on command? Or by frog, are you referring to French Canadian? Yeah. Awesome, Esong. That's awesome. Jelly attack in the tavern. Great apricot. Yeah. What is my opinion on red pandas? I've never seen a red panda. I bet you they're adorable, though. Welcome, Brittle Shake. Oh, wait, Brill Shake. My old eyes don't see that well anymore. Well, thanks for the follow, Brill Shake. Yeah. And heft your baguette of parrying. Bro, shake, that's hilarious. Yeah, the NPC wants revenge. That's, you know that right now. Esau. Yep, I'm with Kit. Hire assassins. Ones that can't be traced to me. Sturdy tricks time. This guy, what alignment is he? Jesus, my back itches. That might be true. He might be able to win over the townsfolk, but yeah, he might want to frame the party for the smuggling. Might want to frame the party for the fire. Okay, I'm gonna take a break, guys. My cat just got home, so I'm gonna. Okay guys, I'm back. Sorry about the long delay there. My kitties just got back from the vet. Okay. And my poor kitty's got an upper respiratory infection. So he's on antibiotics. Good boy. He doesn't like them. Probably doesn't mind them. I think they taste like honey or something, but no, he does not have the Rona. Cats can get the Rona, but they don't show symptoms. But my other cat come back missing his two best friends. He is not happy. I'm just glad I wasn't the bad guy. Well, the jelly in the bed thing is a good thing for the assassinate one PC thing, right? Hire somebody, right, to assassinate another PC, right, or try to discredit them, right? I'm not sure. Discredit, he could try to plant evidence that they were involved in the smuggling, or he could try to plant evidence that they were involved in setting the fires. So yeah, it Stretch has a point there. Right, mob boss is not going to do it themselves. Yeah, and it doesn't stop people from saying that they planted the evidence against the Brotherhood to draw attention away from themselves. Right? And if he's smart, he gets somebody else on the council to accuse them of it. He convinces them of it in private and then gently prods them into making the public accusation themselves, not themselves. Right? No, there'll be a million rumors connected to one event, right? What you gotta have is the guard actually taking some of them seriously, right? Right? The only thing that moves faster than the speed of light is scuttlebutt. Right? In other words, rumor mongering. If Gellin, or whatever his name is, knows that, he could frame the guard into claiming that it was the party who started the fire and are blaming the Brotherhood. Right? Because without even framing him or blackmailing him or anything like that, he could convince him, like, look, this will get you in good with the Brotherhood. Sure, that makes sense. So Gellin will frame the party, the Brotherhood will frame Gellin, and the party will turn on the Brotherhood. Oh, but what tangled webs we weave. I would do something like poison one of the city council and have the poison in the party cleric's bag. something like a plant-based poison, like tomato leaves. Or potato leaves. Hemlock's really bitter. It's easily noticed unless you put it in something like wine or something that they used lead to sweeten, because lead takes the bitter out of hemlock. So they got Socrates. But if there's a council member known for drinking wine, hemlock works just fine. And then put some hemlock in the party cleric stuff. Unless they're a druid, which works even better. Even if they survive the poisoning. Yeah, iocane powder. It's tasteless. Druid works even better. Hemlock. A pickpocket could drop some hemlock into their bag while they're walking through town. Just because you're a pickpocket doesn't mean you have to take things out of the pockets. Sleight of hand. They got hemlock in their bag. When first we practice to deceive. Who do they poison? One of the other council members. Is the druid human? A Triton. Even better. Even better. Because there'll be natural prejudices against them anyways. That's true. Prestidigitation could be used to change the flavor of the hemlock, yes. Good point, damn stretch. And you don't have to worry too much about game mechanics for hemlock because you're poisoning an NPC. So you just decide whether or not they live or die. Right? If they survive the hemlock poisoning. Yeah, it's hard to dose too, right? I mean, like you can give somebody a lot of hemlock and they'll die, but they will taste it, right? It's not going to taste like goddamn wine, that's for sure, right? And, right? But you could give them some hemlock and it's not enough to kill them. How do you know? It's not like this is an exacting science. Well, it is an exact science. They just don't know the science. So it's idea, yeah, give it to a council member. Give it to a couple council members. And they get really sick but recover, right? Especially if they're naturally prejudiced against non-humans or something. these particular council members, if they're naturally prejudiced against non-humans, right? Then, if they've been spreading the dwarf rumors and stuff, then they're gonna have things against the Triton too. Or once they're recovered, they can accuse the party. That's it. Sorry guys, I gotta take a brief break here. I gotta take some meds. I'm sitting. Yeah. Okay, back in 5 to 10. No plan survives first contact with the enemy. Hey Sung, I'm curious, do your party members, your characters, do they have a navigator? They have a cartographer? Right? Is he a navigator, though? Just because he makes maps doesn't mean that he knows how to get from one point to another without a map. Because remember, we're talking about the sea here. Right? So he knows that much? Okay. Give him dyscalculia. Right? Because these guys are new to ships. Right? And if your navigator has dyscalculia, he might get numbers backwards when he's doing math. And you'll end up in entirely different locations at sea because sometimes that's all you got to navigate by is the numbers. Right? You know, we've been going in this direction for this amount of time. We should be here. Right? That's all you've got. Right? So that gives you the opportunity to take the players to wherever you want them to go in your world without them just going, well, we're going to here and you haven't done anything with that part yet, so right? You could say, well, you meant to go to Brynhold, but you ended up on the Isle of Man. Okay, so congratulations, Daz. And the thing about it is, there, Esong, is that as long as you can give a good reason why your players don't end up where they want to go, and they end up where you want them to go, right? Without too much railroading. It can be railroading as long as it's fun railroading. Like, you know, eventually they might figure out that their navigator has dyscalculia and get him glasses that fix it, right? Yeah. You know, and that's when you have enough world that you don't have to worry about it anymore. Right? But in the meantime, you right? Is chat frozen? Okay. Alright. That's that's exactly it. You know you're well equipped to go off into new places. Yep. Time and money, those are the two things. Usually when you have one, you don't have the other, and sometimes you don't have either. Alright, take your time, Esau. I'm gonna turn the music down a bit since we're chatting. So anybody got any other questions? Got about 10 minutes left here. I've had a fun stream with you guys. Kuna's on, so we'll be raiding him as usual. Now a big sad empty cup of disappointment. I can't hide Rady's song. My cup, as I just said, is a big sad empty cup of disappointment. Hot chocolate is an abomination. So there's a problem with hot drinks. They get in my mouth. I like chocolate milk. I like cold spice cider. So we could just sit here and stare at each other for the last 5 minutes, I guess. But you guys should talk. You should say something. Give me a reason to interact with you. I'm really glad I amuse you so much, Daz. Yes, that's saying something, alright. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Get the groundwork going for the second adventure. How has my experience with horror tabletop RPGs been? I played Call of Cthulhu once, right, and never could find a group that wanted to do it again, right? I played Wraith. It was okay. Alright. You know, the whole World of Darkness is alright, I guess. That's horror role-playing, I think. But... Hey, no worries, Z-Song. I'm glad that I could help you out. Yeah, I'm with DM Stretch. There should be a mix of feelings and reactions. Yep. Oh, what horror mechanics? all the horror mechanics add to my enjoyment of the game if I'm playing in a horror setting, right? So, things like insanity in Call of Cthulhu was, or sanity rather, was, it was fun to watch your character degenerate into oblivion, right? But, um, you know, uh, with like horror factors and stuff like that, right? They add a certain element to the game if you're playing in a horror-based game, right? For horror saves and stuff, right? They add a certain element to it. I think that anything that doesn't take away roleplay is a good thing, right? Give your players a chance to roleplay it before you start imposing mechanics to it. Okay, Daz? Then what do? They discover who the killer is. Now what? toes too many times, he'll kick you. Right? You know, and so you poke a man in the ribs too many times, same thing, right? So if he's just an annoyance to this killer by ruining his plans every chance he gets, right? You know, then what's to stop him from just having the little bastard killed? Or arrested, or, you know. You talking like anti-hero campaigns, regular guy campaigns? I think they're fine. I like them. It's sort of what I like in an anti-hero role, is something that really shocks me mentally. Okay. Sure, but now you have to decide what parts he can destroy that he won't get caught doing. Right? He can't destroy every part of the murderer's life. He probably wishes he could, but such things like he can't probably affect him at his job, right? Because his job is probably connected to his station, and he's a nobleman. Yeah, it's the beginning of a Breaking Bad slope, yeah. How far are you willing to go, and are you willing to become a murderer yourself? You know, but to go back to your question there, Infamous Simus, I like that in an anti-hero campaign. I use anti-hero not to mean like the Punisher. The Punisher's not an anti-hero. The guy in Lucky Man is an anti-hero. You know, and Stan Lee's Lucky Man. Right? And I like horror and mental adversity in my campaigns that I'm a normal guy in. Alright. I didn't think they addressed PTSD well enough in Recon. Right? Or Twilight 2000. Okay, you remember your question 2 hours ago. Yeah, I'm thinking of making a landing page for my party. When they log on to Roll20, one page I saw had a spot for quests and side quests. Any opinion on putting those in front of my players? Is it too much like railroading, or does it help them remember all the things they said they were interested in? That's more like it. I see, that's what I would do, is put quests and side quests down there, just enough so that they could remember what they're interested in. Put that in side quests. Put the main things that they got to do in the main quests. So he's got a band of winged kobolds that he fences for? Well, that could be useful. As a fence, you can order things. That's the thing, right? They're going to bring you stolen goods and contraband and stuff like that and get money or whatever your equivalent currency to them is. But you can order them. You can make orders. You can make requests, right? And maybe get these winged kobolds to steal his item. Yeah, what you should do, Isong, is make your landing page a notes section where you can write notes and their players can write notes. If you can do something like that, that would be good. Because then you could have a question for space for quests and side quests, and your players can write down stuff that interested them. Right? Like, look into boys' past. Now you know what they're going to be doing. Right? You know, determine why. Shit, that's still a big sad cup of empty disappointment. All right. You know, like they're going to try to. It gives you an opportunity to know what they want to accomplish with their characters. Yeah. Yes, they can. You could generate one that is says, you know, these are the things that you guys seemed to be interested in, or you made noises about. All right. Okay, so now these kobolds are thieves. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, then, Daz, right? They could be hired again. Right? Have them hire them to go after the item again. You see, it's not up to him to determine how they go about it. They're the thieves. Right? He doesn't have to be a thief to hire a thief. Right? He'd just be an idiot to go along with them. So don't have him do that. And even if you don't want him to have the item, right? The thieves give a good chance to foreshadow things. Like, we tried to get in there, but he has it behind a force field. Okay, well now you know that he can create force fields. Right? Or he has a device that can create force fields. Something is creating force fields. Right? Anyways, guys, I'm 15 minutes over my time. Right? So I'm going to take you to raid somebody. Who are we going to raid here? We got Kahuna, that's it. But I'm back on this channel on the Friday, the 23rd. Right, and Sable will be on tomorrow to write. And I think I'm on tomorrow night to write. Friday's your D&D night. Okay, what time do you play on Friday there, Daz? Well, I'm on at this time, right? 1 to 4 Pacific. Are you Pacific? Eastern, okay. So from 4 to 7 your time. So schedule your game for 7 o'clock, and you've got my whole stream to ask questions. That's what Esong does. Her game is on Tuesdays. Yeah. I'm here to answer the questions that she has before she goes on to her game. Yeah. Well, that's cool that you got one that's coming so far there, Daz. Okay. Well, schedule it for 7. You'll be fine. Okay, we're going to take off here. We're going to raid Kahuna the Elder. I think he's on for another 10 minutes or something, but he'll know where to raid after that. Okay, thanks for coming, everybody. Really appreciate it. Appreciate answering all your questions. And I'll see you Friday, or I'll see you on my writing stream.